Shalom, 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 shalom. It's been a little bit since I've done a video, so I'm doing the thing that I always forget to do in the or forgot to do in the past, and that's to turn my phone off. So I just turned it off. Shalom, 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 family. I'm gonna wait a few minutes and see who's going to join me. Uh, if you are new to the channel, thank you for showing up. For those that are going to watch later on, I thank you for coming to the channel. If you're brand new, I would pray and hope that you would subscribe to the channel. And hopefully you will be able to get something out of the content that is shared here. Shalom, shalom, family members. Monica, and Shatika. It's good to see you guys. Not too much for you. Shalom, shalom. I'm going to talk a little bit tonight. Well, let me say this. Shalom, shalom, everyone. It's so good to see you all. A coup in the Ivory Coast. Another one. Keith, it's good to see you, beloved brother. Is that a new one that's going on now? Oh boy, I got some things to talk to you guys about today. Shalom, shalom, Carol Brooks. It's good to see you, Irma Davis. All of you guys. Okay, so tonight I did take some notes. So I have, okay, it's going on now. Oh boy. Well, does anybody know, and can somebody share into the chat, into the chat, what the definition of smoke and mirrors is? Can somebody put that in there? Wow. You know what? My mom said it good the other day. She said, I'm not quite sure what it is, and I can't really put my finger on it. But she says, something is getting ready to happen. And how many of you guys feel the same way about it? How many of you guys feel that there's some stuff that's getting ready to go down? You guys feel it? Smoke and mirrors. We'll get back to it in a little bit. But here's the thing. So I was listening to this young lady speak, and she said something. Well, let me start all over again. I'm going to take you guys over, and hopefully I won't be too long. You know how long-winded I can get. But I have my shop, Mary Sheffer online shop, and I've been trying to promote my business via YouTube, but not so much here on YouTube, but I do promote it on Pinterest, and I do also try to promote it on Instagram, a little bit on Facebook, not a whole lot. And then also I've been posting videos on make sure I'm saying it right. TikTok. Okay, TikTok. Wasn't all that good at it. You know how I am with that stuff. Not all that good at it. So got to the point where I was actually posting a few videos here and there, not a whole lot, and they were pretty much product related. And I had actually threw out to you guys, what's going on with these people. I think once they realize who you are, they just don't give you any views. So some of my videos got plenty of views on them, which kind of surprised me. And then some of them, none, zero, none at all. And I know algorithms and all that other stuff is involved. But anyhow, I'm saying all that to say this. I didn't really understand how it works. I can't say that I'm 100% sure of how it works right now, but I'm better at it than what I was beforehand. And here's the thing that I realized about TikTok. TikTok requires you to be interactive, somewhat like this live, where you guys you're listening in, but you can also interact with me by putting your comments in. And I've realized that that is what makes TikTok a little different than, let's say, Instagram. Now, you can put comments in on Instagram, but I think the difference for me, at least, was you're required to scroll. And if you engage with someone, then you're going back and forth. To me, it's a little different. So that's what I got from it. Well, anyways, something happened that I think is a big deal. And what happened over there that I think is a big deal and is spiritual and is prophetic is, with all of the chaos and the division and the hate and the racism and everything else that's going on, something beautiful blossomed. What was that? I don't know if you guys are familiar with it. Aw. Oh, McMoney, I hope you're doing well. This is our sis, Oh McMoney, says, I thought you did well on TikTok. I'm trying to get there, okay? Saw your ad on a t-shirt. Is, by the way, I started out this morning. I did a TikTok video, a short brief one. Let me show you what I have on today. So I still have on the same outfit. I have on old school Gil Scott Heron. The revolution will not be televised. This is one of those t-shirts. Got on what do you call these things? A duster with it. But this is one of those t-shirts that I have in my shop. So in speaking of the t-shirt, I did a outfit of the day, and I said, that a revolution, it says it's not going to be televised, but I said, but it is. And the revolution that is said to not be televised is happening now. Okay, it's happening now. So getting back to what I was saying over on TikTok, was a beautiful thing, is a young lady, and I have to talk in terms of color. So bear with me, family. Okay, bear with me. A Black young lady. Okay. Not the time, not the place, God real. Not the time, not the place. We will pray, but not the time, not the place. Let me get this message out. You're being disruptive, okay? It's just not the time. All right? Not the time. So anyhow, I'm going to get back to it. Not that I'm trying to be unfeeling or anything like that. We've had interruptions like this beforehand. This is nothing new, and we're familiar with this type of appeal. Okay, so I'm trying to be nice. So please stop, please. Okay, there's a time and there's a place for this, and this is not it. So anyhow, let me go ahead and continue. So over on TikTok, a beautiful thing happened. A Black young lady decided to post a video. And within that video, she reached out to the white community of folks who are redheads, folks who have been formerly known as Ginger, and I'm spelling it because to many of them it's offensive. Okay, so I'm just spelling it. All right, so that you know what I'm talking about. And they have changed the way of saying it to not end with an ER, but with A, okay, a soft A, if you will. And I'm trying not to use it at all, okay, because I don't want to offend anyone, all right? But she reached out to those folks that have red hair, okay, red hair, red beards, eyebrows, you know what I'm saying, freckles, the whole 9 yards, okay? The beautiful thing that happened was when she reached out to them in this video, she pretty much said, and I'm paraphrasing it, okay? Please go over to TikTok and look up red velvet. All right. That's one of the hashtags that's being used, red velvet, okay? And what this young lady did was she reached out to him and she said, if you have red hair, whether you're a man or a woman, if you have red hair and you're white, you're really Black. You're really a Black man or a Black woman. Okay. It set some things in motion. Are any of you guys familiar with this? Are any of you have you been on TikTok and seen any of this? Okay, have you seen any of this? Let me know. Um, and I happened to run across it one day when I was over there, didn't really know what was going on. It was like, oh, okay. And I saw it. Here's what caught my attention. Okay. When that was said, you saw that sharper one. Very good. Very good. Irene says that I heard it. Oh, McMoney says I saw a little bit. Um, what did Irene, you said heard of it. Sharper one says I saw that, Mary. Well, here's what ended up happening, and I'm trying to get this all condensed down. What ended up happening was the folks who grew up, who are now adults, who grew up with red hair. We learn from listening to them via their videos. Once they saw what this woman posted, they accepted what she was saying in the sense that they know they're not black. They know they're not black. But they accepted the idea of they are community and they are family and they are being embraced by the black community. Is pretty much what she was saying, and that's pretty much what happened. The black community came out in droves. I'm so proud of being a decadent cocoa person, okay? Because we came out in droves. We began to listen to our red velvet brothers and sisters that were out there, and they were telling the tales. They were telling the story. They were sharing their hearts. They were shedding and purging hurt and dismissal, and they were sharing all of the negativity that they have grown up with. So many of them online. And when I say grown folks, and I don't know if any of them are here today, because I have invited them to come and sit with us here and be family. But and if you're here, you are welcome and you are so loved as a family member in this family. But they came out grown folks crying. Let me say this. So many of them are crying and talking about the things that they've gone through, that they've dealt with. But so many of them also have enough heart to acknowledge that it's not the same level as what the decadent cocoa folks who look like me have gone through. But they can relate to being put down. They can relate to being the other. They can relate to folks saying things that were not so nice to them or behaving towards them in not too nice of a way. Okay. So that took off and it's still going strong. Folks, right now, I know of at least two creators over on TikTok that are organizing a family reunion. I don't know what else to call it, where folks are coming seriously deciding to come together as one, as one. Don't you know that we as a whole, all of us who now let me say this too. I'm going to back up a little bit. There are those who are opposing it. You know that on both sides. There are those who are white that are attacking their brothers and sisters with red hair. They're attacking them for getting involved with the black or the decadent cocoa community. And then there are those on the decadent cocoa in the decadent cocoa community that look like me that are dead set against coming together and unifying. Dead set against it. Then there are those who I'm going to say have decided they themselves fit into some type of other category, and they are complaining that for some reason they don't fit in. And I'm to say about those that consider themselves other, that say that they don't fit in, they're wondering why the red velvet, the white red velvets are being included when we have red velvets that are black. But then you have red velvets that are black that are coming in and saying, I don't know what you're talking about because I've always been included in the black community. So you have within the black community those who are opposing it, and then you have those who want to cause division within the black community. Okay, so that's what's going on. However, that all being said, they're not loud. They're not the voice over there. They're not leading the charge. Those who are naysayers and negative Nancy's, and they're not leading the charge. You know what's leading the charge over there? Love. 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 So, family, I was I'm kind of chatting with some of the folks over in that area. So bear with me tonight. Um, I'm chatting with some of those folks over there, and some of them are not where you and I are, as far as our spiritual growth. And I have been led to take this on a slow basis. So bear with me with this, okay, to bring some folks on board. Um, I said that this love that's taking place between the communities is just the beginning. I look at that there is an end, there's a purpose to everything. And I I I'm trying to figure out, I'm trying to think of a way to say this. I truly believe that we have a creator. I'm just going to say it like that. We have a creator, and he is in charge. Uh, that being said, nothing happens without him knowing about it. Nothing happens without him being um, involved. Okay. So I had mentioned that this whole thing is spiritual. Anytime love is involved, it's spiritual. It's spiritual. Okay. You can feel it. You can feel it in your soul. It's spiritual. So um, I listened to another young lady the other day. Excuse me. And she said, and the family, go look this up. I don't know for sure. I've seen, this is the second time I've seen it. Something to this nature. And this is the acronym MAGA is Make America Great Again. Okay, the acronym MAGA is Make America Great Again. But what does it mean with other ethnicities? What is the meaning of MAGA? And I ask, what universe are we living in? What universe are we living in when you can go down the street to the supermarket and um, run into someone? And I just saw this today. I didn't see it personally, but I saw it on a video. Somebody else was recording it. But I wouldn't be a bit surprised to see something like this. What universe are we living in when we can be in a supermarket and right a few steps away from us is a person who pops out an eyeball and begins to recite something that is perfectly in a language that you are not familiar with, and looks like they don't belong in this environment, in this universe, looks demonic, behaves in a demonic way. What universe do we live in when a woman gets on a plane? We've talked about this beforehand, and sits next to something, gets out of that seat and begins to scream that that thing over there is not real. That thing is not a real man. I'm paraphrasing a little bit, But what universe do we live in when we start seeing things like that? I told you that the portals have been open. They've been open for a while. We're seeing things. Folks are seeing things that are almost unreal. Things that they would never have imagined seeing. We're seeing things in the sky that look like portals opening up in the sky. People are recording it. We're seeing all kinds of weird and wild things. There's the tale of the young lady who was in her car with her children, and she's in the hospital. You know, when she's telling the story, where she feels like she went to another universe, another. She went through a portal and came back. When she came back, her car ended up getting hit because the person that hit her said, "One minute you weren't there, and the next minute you're there. You just showed up." And when she left, her and her children were trying to figure out where they went to. For a space of time, they were no longer in their own universe. And people can scoff and make fun of this stuff, but the stuff is real. I said a while back that you're going to see things that you've never seen before. You're going to hear things you've never heard before. And it's happening. It is happening. So to get back to the story with the red velvet redheads that are now part of the decadent cocoa black community, many of them are seeing this as miraculous. Many of them are seeing the unity, the love, the healing that's going on, and they're questioning it. They're questioning why is this happening now? And then they're saying, I've always felt a link to the decadent cocoa family. There was always something that linked me to them. And so they're trying to figure this stuff out, family. Well, you and I know what it is. You and I know that the Creator has a mandate. He has a chosen people who he calls a royal priesthood. And the royal priesthood has a mandate. There are things that the royal priesthood are to do. This is part of it. This is all part of it. So I don't want to chase away someone who's and let me get back to my notes a little bit. I said beforehand, it's all spiritual, right? And then I'm gonna get back to the word MAGA and what it means in other ethnicities. And you'll see where I'm going with this. Religion and religious people have worked overtime, and you guys will be able to relate to this. You know what I'm talking about. Religion and religious people have worked overtime to grow and to harvest hate under the umbrella of a loving God. They have grown and harvested hate, division, and so much more, that instead of it bringing us together and uniting us, instead it was created to separate and divide us. We're not religious people. We're spirit beings. And real recognizes real. Spirit to spirit, we recognize one another. Spirit to spirit, we understand. Once we get rid of all of the garbage of this world, spirit to spirit, we understand that love is the connection of one to another. Brother to sister, sisters to sister, brother to brother. We are all one. Okay? So MAGA In Japanese, MAGA, MAGA, it means wickedness, evil, calamity, disaster. What universe are we living in? The time that we're in right now, the things that we are seeing going on in the time that we're in right now are necessary. What a wonderful time to be alive, to witness this. Strange things are happening. Strange things are happening. Did you see the brown faces, the men with the brown faces in New York on, what is that street? Times Square. They just, I believe they said that the lights went out. And when they came back on, the billboards were filled with faces. Several different brown-skinned men, their faces. Negroes. Did you see that? And I find it interesting that they're also erecting statues of Black women in these cities. A lot of controversy around those too. Since when have Black women been celebrated with the building or putting up of statues? Why now? Why now? And the faces that were that appeared on the billboards in Times Square. I don't know if you guys remember, there was a documentary that was done a few years back where they wanted to show us the face of Adam. I'm going to tell you, I don't know if anybody else said the same thing, but this is what I said when I saw those faces. They look like that reproduction, if you will, of Adam that they made in that documentary. That's what it reminded me of. Adam. Okay? The Adam that they made. It's showing itself now. Shalom, shalom, Ronald. It is showing itself now. You say the supernatural world will show itself at some point. It's going on now. Stuff is happening. Stuff is happening. And so you are so right. Shalom, shalom, Strawberry Fields. It's good to see you. Even the beginnings, it's so good to see you too, my sis. You say in Nigeria, MAGA means to be easy. Yes, I have that on my list. To be easily fooled, unsmart. In Greek, MAGA means wizard, magician. In Latin, it means witch, enchantress. Or female magician. And I'd asked beforehand, I don't know if anybody was able to do it, but smoke and mirrors, what that the meaning behind smoke and mirrors. I was asking if somebody could post that in the chat as well. Smoke and mirrors. So anyways, thank you, Even the Beginnings, for that, because yes, that's what I have on here. In Nigeria, it equals slang. It's slang for sucker, fraud, victim, or easily fooled, or an easily fooled idiot. In Zulu, it means lies. In Sudanese, it equals dragon. Okay? In Latin, it translates to witch. MAGA is the name of the highest rank in the Church of Satan. The time that we're living in right now, family, is highly spiritual. Highly spiritual. So if your spiritual antennas have been going haywire lately, there's a reason for it. We are in the MAGA season. Okay? We are in the MAGA season. In Filipino, MAGA, MAGA, means swelling or inflamed. Time is speeding up. The craziness, the chaos is increasing. Swelling, okay? It's increasing. It's increasing and it's going so badly. It's inflamed. Okay? So, it's spiritual. Supernatural, spiritual things are happening. Keep your eyes open. Stay prayed up. Now, for those of you who don't believe in a God, a higher power, a creator, stick with me for a little bit. And hopefully, you'll be able to get something from this me sharing tonight. Okay? Stick with me for a little bit. Give me a little time. Okay? So, as I said beforehand, religion and religious people, they've worked overtime to make sure that those who have been affected and afflicted by wicked people, under the guise of them being religious, holy, Christian, um, they've said to be folks who read the Bible and believe in God, and then they're out there doing things, and you see it in the world. I don't want to mention this unaliving that is taking place, that is still taking place, and nobody's still talking about it. Or nobody's still talking about it. Nobody's really talking about it anymore. It's still taking place in the Middle East, in Africa. These unalivings are still happening. Still happening. And it's being done under the guise of holy God, if you will, because he gets blamed for so much. He does. And to someone who has been hurt by religion and religion and religious people, you don't want to hear about divine. You don't want to hear about a God. You don't want to hear about someone who is judgmental, harsh, and who doesn't have your best interest or anybody else's best interest at heart. It's only for a few people, select people. You've been hurt by these people who claim to know divine and they don't. And so many folks will turn their back on divine. But hear me out. This is spiritual. You guys are going to encounter beings that don't behave like a normal human being. I'm trying to get you ready for it. So, the takeover is perfect. The religious takeover is perfect. Right now, this religious takeover has folks so divided, right? If I were to ask you about the real religion, so many people would come out of the woodworks to argue their point on what's the best way, who's the best religion, who's the best this, that, and the other. Not realizing there's only one divine, there's only one creator. And yes, I'm saying it like that, and somebody would argue and say, oh no, see, you're just like everybody else. No, hear me out again. Hear me out again. I'm going to ask you to go to source, go to spirit, What does Spirit say to you? I read the Bible, but I read so many other books too. But in reading the Bible, I recognize there is no other book like it that can tell the beginning all the way to the end, that can tell you things that you look through it today, look at it again next week, and you're going to see something a little different. There's no other book like it. Did man have his hands in the book? Yes, he did. And even still, there's something about that book. Even still. Tell me how it is wrong to look at people, beings, creatures, see the character of them, and determine good, bad. You can do that. This book tells us, gives us wise words. You will know. You will know them by the fruit they bear. That's wisdom. Spirit to spirit. Spirit will talk to spirit. If the fruit that comes from that tree is rotten, guess what you're dealing with? That's what the book says. So if you're dealing with someone who is a religious person and a religion, and their fruit is wicked, and they want to claim divine, they want to claim the creator. The creator says they're not his, because he has stipulations. I started earlier and I told you guys the baseline for all of this is love. Love, love. If you don't have that, you're not going anywhere. You're gonna remain stagnant. That's where a lot of people are right now. Stagnant. You're gonna remain stagnant. Okay. So many, because of this religion, harvesting hate and division. So many that the spirit souls, so that many spirit souls want nothing to do with divine. They want nothing to do with divine. And many folks are convinced. And so when you're dealing with a lot of these folks and you start talking about the Bible, you start talking, they don't want to hear it. Why? Because they've heard it. They've heard it from religion. They've religious person. They've heard about religion and they're not happy with it. Just take a good look at the so-called Christian conservatives. Is that what they're called? What are they called? Christian nationalists, whatever. Not the conservatives. I probably said it wrong. Those folks who are that say that they are Christians, but they don't behave in a way that would make Christ proud. Okay? So if I said the other part of it wrong, forgive me for that. But that's what I mean. Okay? So many are convinced that divine, creator, source, that he's wicked or evil, and they don't want to have anything to do with it, or they just don't believe that he exists, because how could he exist when all these bad things are happening, right? So this is the perfect takeover of what I would call our enemy. He's convinced so many people that it's better for them to hate their neighbor than to love their neighbor. Why? Hate this neighbor here because his skin is dark brown, or hate this neighbor here because he speaks another language. It's been the perfect takeover for many years. Religion has been the catalyst to kill. Oh, I probably shouldn't have said that word. To unalive nations. Okay. And if you look at me and you say, well, Mary, you might be religious because you read the Bible, I'm going to say, no, I have the Spirit in me. The spirit of creation is in me. I didn't make me. I was created. I am wonderfully made. Every little intricate part of me has been wonderfully made. And I don't care how these mad scientists get together and try to reproduce and recreate, they cannot do what divine has done. They cannot. So he's convinced, they have convinced folks, these religions and religious people have convinced folks that because divine doesn't really exist, we're just out here living, right? This is it. This is life. Because divine doesn't exist, then how could there be an enemy? How could there be an enemy? What I don't get with some of these folks is they can believe in the supernatural. They can believe in the stories that they watch about the vampires, and they can believe in the stories that they watch about the werewolves. They can believe in a lot of the stuff that's out there, aliens, UFOs and aliens coming from other planets. They can believe all of that stuff. But then when I tell you that this is all spiritual, and when I tell you that the season that we're in is MAGA, and that MAGA is wickedness. If that offends you, I can't even say I'm sorry. It is what it is. It's wickedness. Okay? We've been reduced to viewing each other as the problem, the enemy. Okay? They've poured millions of dollars into race bait. Millions of dollars. Okay? I got on my Gil Scott Heron shirt, t-shirt. The revolution will not be televised. I have on my shirt. And I said earlier that it says that it will not be televised, but it is. It's going on right now. There is a spiritual battle that's taking place. And yes, unfortunately, people don't want to hear about it, but yes, race is highly involved. Why? Because we have an enemy, and this enemy knows how to race bait. He's an expert at it. We're fighting and facing an enemy that is ancient. Compared to this enemy, we are newborns. We're babies. But Spirit gives us age. Spirit gives us wisdom if we listen. All right? So we've been reduced to viewing each other as the problem, the enemy. They have poured, again, millions of money into this race-based situations to raise the low base frequency. And this frequency, it breeds confusion, it breeds hate, it breeds distrust, and it breeds mental breakdowns. Look around you. How many of our young people are facing mental breakdowns? They're not able to handle the things that you and I were able to handle back in the day. Mental breakdowns. Okay? And add to that, they have all of us believing, and you're going to find these words familiar. They have all of us believing that a specific group, and that group alone holds the cards. Where have we heard the term, you don't hold the cards? This is MAGA. This is MAGA. You don't hold the cards. Life is going on around you. How many folks are crying and having a hard time because they either have lost their jobs, losing their jobs, they work a full-time job and they are barely making it. They're barely able to make their rent, pay their rent, and they have to decide between paying their electric bill or putting gas in the car and food that they put on their groceries, on food that they put on their tables. Folks are talking about this left and right. Folks that own farms are going bankrupt. Prices are getting higher. So a lot is going on. It ain't good. It ain't good. Okay. But they want us to believe that we should be grateful and thankful for the things the way they are right now, because they're telling us they're going to get better. They're going to make it great again. Okay. And when you begin to complain, what happens? When you begin to complain, you're not going along with the program. When you begin to complain, when you begin to feel the pinch, you're not going along with the program. And then that's when they tell you, you're not winning. You should be thankful that you are where you are. You're not winning. You know why you're not winning? Because you don't hold the cards. This is what Donald Trump, I'm quoting him. You don't hold the cards. But what they have done is said, you don't hold the cards. Be thankful. Come with me, and then you can win too. Okay? Come with me. Be thankful, because with us, you can again hold the cards. So what happened? Some folks thought that they were going to be able to hold the cards with that group. But it's not happening that way, is it? So these are promises that were made that many folks are grappling with, because it contradicts what people are actually seeing. You know how they say seeing is believing? We're seeing. Are they believing though? We also see that the promises made are exclusive to a few and elusive to others. And the others that it's elusive to, they have this carrot that's dangling in front of them that they're running behind, only they're not worthy. They have been deemed not worthy. And it's a sad thing, because they don't know yet that they're not worthy. They're still chasing that carrot. Please tell me somebody out there understands what I'm saying. Do you get what I'm saying? So there's nothing but spiritual darkness in following that route. That route is showered. That spiritual darkness is showered in hatred. Hatred for somebody because they have the wrong color. You conceive it. You think it's the wrong color. Hatred for someone because they don't act like you. They don't look like you. They don't talk like you. We are, and things keep happening. Okay? Things keep happening. And it makes you question, why did this happen and why now? And why does everything cause division? Plantation in New Orleans burned down. You got one group celebrating, you got one group over here that's saying, "Oh, it was a historical site and blah blah blah." Okay? Why is there division? You have a white young man unalived by a black man, and it caused division because you have groups of people, and I'm saying this on both sides. You have groups of people who don't know what it means to look at things equally. They don't understand, what's the word I want to use? Justice. Okay? You have, excuse me, you have a police officer that we witness unalive a woman in her home, who had mental issues, who was unarmed, and you had folks on both sides rooting for and against, and I don't want to even say it's rooting, but you had folks on both sides that had opinions. Why the division? Why the division? Why are folks going into, and I'm saying folks, why are young folks going into the schools with pew-pews and causing harm? There's a whole lot going on. Why is it, why is there division with a grown woman using a racial slur towards a child that was 5 years old, and people divided on whether it was a bad thing or a good thing, and so much so that money was involved money was involved with people raising money in her defense. Same thing with it division. Division is what I'm trying to get at. Don't you guys think that it's interesting? All of these things are out there that would have us look at our brothers and sisters a certain way, would have us look at and form opinions based on our own ethnicity and skin tone. These opinions, these feelings, these thoughts that have us feeling a certain way is part of the spiritual darkness that I was telling you about, that I was talking about. And if we go in that direction, we're going down a dark hole. If we go in that direction of allowing the things that's going on around us that is race baiting, That's what it is. But we don't see it that way. We are seeing oppression. We are seeing discrimination. We're seeing injustice. And I'm not saying that those things are not out there. They are. We're seeing the discrimination. We're seeing all of this. Not only are we seeing it, we are experiencing it, but we're experiencing it and seeing it for a reason. When we tune our heads and our minds and our hearts and our spirits into that, we are doing nothing but following a spiritual darkness, a route that we really don't want to be on. But this world and those that are running this world, they're maneuvering and manipulating. It's spiritual. You're being manipulated. Yin, yang, darkness, light, good versus evil, natural, supernatural, love, hate. These are choices. These are choices. The love, the hate. To live in this world is to only see what is natural and to ignore the supernatural, the spirit part of it. To live in this world is to see things through the lens of a white cop did something to a black person. So therefore, if this white cop did something to a black person and I'm black, and what this white cop did was wrong, and I acknowledge that it was wrong, I can find myself angry at the system that allows it. I can find myself angry at those that would defend that wrong, especially when it's under the guise of religion. I have a choice to make. Do I allow that to form in my heart, in my spirit, in my soul? Do I allow that to erase the love that creation has put in me? Do I void that out? It's a choice we all have to make. Vibrations of this world are changing. And open your heart, open your mind, and stop being manipulated. When you see me, you should see me. The creator has a purpose and he has a plan. And yes, there is a creator. And along with that creator, there is an enemy. You have been living around and dealing with the enemy for a long time. The creator has been there also. But we as a whole have tapped that spirit down because this world has taken over. That spiritual darkness, because you're watching TV, you see movies, and they're showing you who to hate. They're showing you who to love, showing you who you can trust and who you can't trust. They're telling you who's your family, who's not your family. They're giving you a narrative about this ethnicity and that ethnicity. And they fail to tell you that you cross the lines. We're connected. Are we the same? No. And I thank the creator for that. We're not the same. I have a t-shirt now that says they not like us. But see, I think it had a different meaning than what I have it for, because I have this t-shirt and it says they not like us. You know why? Because I am part of a chosen people. Now we all can be chosen. All right. We all can be chosen. You make that choice. But I am part of a chosen people. What the Bible calls a royal priesthood. Now, before people get all upset about what I just said, think of it this way. If you have students in a classroom that need to be taught, what do you need? If you have students in a classroom that need to be taught, you need to have a teacher. So there's a teacher that has been chosen to lead the cause, if you will. That's all it is. I'm not saying that there's a people who's been chosen because they're they're that in a bag of chips. No, I'm not saying that. There's a people that have been chosen by the Creator. Think of it as these being the teachers, if you will. They're a priesthood. And they have a mandate. And you know what that mandate is? There's a few things. But first and foremost on the top of that is LOVE. To love. If you can't do that, then you are one of those who's been manipulated. What we see going on over on TikTok right now with the decadent chocolate people, decadent cocoa family, and the red velvet, red-headed family, what we see going on over there is just the beginning. This is the vibration of the Creator saying, because when they question, the red velvets question, and they say, well, of all of the people, you guys have been put down, you've been oppressed, you've been this, you've been that, and of all of the people on the in this universe, on earth, of all the people, it's you, the ones who have been put down so much. It's you who have come forward and have opened your arms and embraced us and shown us love. And you're healing our hearts. It's you. And I want to say to them, yeah, baby, it's us, because we are them. We are the chosen ones. We have a mandate. We're supposed to do just that. We're supposed to open our arms up and embrace you and help you to heal your hurts. We are the ones that are supposed to do that, because in the process of opening our arms, embracing you, showing and sharing love with you, we are sharing and showing you the light. The light being the Creator in us. We're trying to get you back home, because that's where we're going. Do you guys see this? So when they're questioning, you don't want to force feed people. Yeah, in some cases you got to give them a little bit here and a little bit there. There's a spiritual battle that's taking place. The Heavenly Father, he's gathering his people. Divine is gathering his people. He's using the light. Are you a light? We're told to be a light. Are you a light? And if you are, then do your job. And do it in love. Not looking at someone's outer appearance and saying, you can come, but you cannot, because that choice is not yours. I have seen some beautiful things coming through. Beautiful comments. I've seen the purging of hurts, cleansing tears. And we can't take credit for that. This is all spiritual. This is the Creator's doing. For those of you that have ears to hear, I hope you can hear that there is an enemy, and this enemy wants to sift you. This enemy wants you hurt. This enemy wants you divided away from the light. The light is shining for those who are wanting to come in, come home, find comfort, find the strength in the Father, the Creator, because with that strength of his, you get joy. So look at them, those that are around you. Look at what's going on. Do you see a light? Do you feel the love? Do you want to know who the royal priesthood is? If that light is shining and you feel the love, that's them. That's us. We have a job to do. And you're welcome. Come home. Come home. This is what we are looking at. We're looking at the other side, and they're making promises that they know they can't keep. They are setting the world up to destroy it. Folks have hope, but unfortunately, they're hoping in the wrong thing. They're hoping in the wrong direction. I look at divine, I look at the creator, I look at Father Yah, and I see that he had a reason and a purpose for doing things the way he did. He put us on the bottom, those who have been selected to be the royal priesthood. He put us on the bottom. Now, there's a reason, and I don't want to go into the history of it, but we were there for a reason. And he was justly correcting us as a good parent would correct a wayward child. He was justly correcting us. And in doing so, we have been on the bottom. The royal priesthood, you wouldn't recognize us before because we've been on the bottom of everything. And if you have the mindset of the spiritual darkness that has been fed into your whole being for the most part, all of your life, that people, that group of people that look like me, there's just no way that a divine creator would select them, choose them to carry the torch of the light. There's just no way. If you cannot perceive in your mind and your heart that he would choose us, then you're not going to receive this love, because you can't receive love from something that you feel is beneath you. You cannot receive love from something that you feel unattached from. Okay? And if you are feeling unattached, if you are feeling that this is not something that's real for you, if you are feeling that this is something that you can't jump on this ark with us, you will be left behind. It's sad, but it will be reality. The red velvets are seeing us. They're not quite sure what they're seeing. They see the light. They feel the love. And so many of them are saying, you know what? I'm not really sure, so I don't know if I should probably even use this phrase, but I've heard people say ride or die. Is that a bad thing to use? You know, I'm not quite sure. I know it means that I'm going to go with you to the end, something like that. So I hope that's not, don't be offended. I'm sorry if that offends you. I don't mean to offend, but that's what they're saying. Once you get this is what they're saying. So many of them. Once you get the loyalty of a red velvet, we're here to stay. So what does that tell me? That tells me that when the Heavenly Father, the Creator, divine, chose us and said, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. You are this, and I want you to be this, and follow my commandments. And we're doing just that. He went to this other group and he said, follow that light. You see that light moving? Follow it. Because that light is here for you. And that's what's going on. They see the light. They have entered in to the homes, the arms of that light. They're feeling the warmth. They're feeling the love. They're feeling like they're at home. It's a good thing. That's right, Mel F. It's a good thing. And I said this said it a little bit like that. Eve New Beginning says, I believe Abba Father is sealing and separating his true children, his remnant. And I got some things to say about that. His remnant, if you say amen, amen, right? Amen. And we have to continue to walk in his light, way, truth, instead of the world's ways. Amen. Ooh, hallelujah. Yes. And when we see things, and it's easy for us because it's easy, at least for me. I can speak for me. I can't speak for anybody else, but it's easy for me to see things like let me give you an example. The plantation burning, okay, because it's not really a person at this point. It's a building, and it kind of reminds me of the flag, and I might get in trouble for saying this with some of you guys, but it kind of reminds me of the flag. When I saw, what is the guy's name? Kaepernick kneel before the flag, or before the whatever it is they were doing. You know what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to keep my mind focused. When Kaepernick knelt for injustice, folks were offended by him because they were offended that they were saying that he was offensive to the flag, if you will, if I can remember that correctly. And in my head, national anthem, right? Pride in the United States. And his stance, thank you, Carol Brooks, his stance was not to oppose the national anthem. His stance was, I'm doing this because of the injustice to all who would honor the national anthem. How do you honor something that doesn't honor you, that doesn't hold you in esteem? How do you honor it? And so that's the way I looked at it. Okay. Others looked at it as, oh, you're not a patriot. That's offensive. And those others didn't see what he was seeing as far as the injustice. Now, he understood that by kneeling, what it meant to those who were trying to honor the national anthem. But I looked at it as they were putting human beings over a object, a thing, a song. Human beings' lives were less than a song, a theme, tradition. And people get caught on these mountains. They get caught on these mountains to fight, and they stay stuck. This is part of the manipulation of the spiritual darkness that's here on this earth. They want you to remain stuck. They want you to fight. Instead of looking at Kaepernick not standing for the national anthem as a negative, instead look at him as your brother, yourself, your son. When we can stop looking at people as other and look at them as us, love falls into play. The puzzle pieces come together. And no national anthem, no flag, a life is more important. A life. A life is more important. There are many folks in this world that are going to have a whole lot that they're going to have to answer for. It won't be my job to, I don't believe, to judge them, okay, in the afterlife, if you will. But there are a lot of people that are going to have a lot to answer, that they're going to have to answer for. We all, if I can say it this way, we all will stand before our Creator and give an account for everything that we've done. I would say make sure that the account that you have to give is some good things. Not like the firefighter who is elderly and decided to sit next to white firefighter who was elderly, decided to sit next to a young black man and pour out his heart and tell him how on several occasions he allowed little black children to burn up in a house that he was supposed to go in and help to save, that he allowed to die simply because of the color of their skin. And now he's grappling with that, and he felt he needed to unburden himself. A choice that he made to not look at folks as that's my brother, that's my sister. Yes, we have been oppressed, we have been abused, we have had all kinds of things happen to us. And yet, those of us who refuse to be manipulated can still look at someone who looks different than us, someone who is part of a nation that have done us so wrong. And we can look at them and have empathy, have sympathy when they're going through, and still find a way to love them. Not every group of people out there can do that. The Creator put that in us on purpose. And you have those that are out there, especially like right now on TikTok. You have those that are out there that look like me, that are so very angry. And they're saying things like, y'all always including and inviting folks to the cookout. It should only be for us and us alone. They're hurting. And what do we say about hurt people? Hurt people hurt people. They're stuck. The manipulation has worked on them. They're in that spiritual darkness. So it's not just on the white side that there is that hate. It crosses the color line. You know them by the fruit that they bear. If they shine that light, if you see that love, then you know Creator is in them. Not only is Creator in them, they are of service to the Creator. And if they're like me, they don't want to mess up. I so don't want to disappoint my Father. So I'm gonna run this race, and I'm gonna try my best to do it in the best way possible. So tune in, family. Tune in to your spirit. Real recognizes real. Tune into your spirit, man. And if you don't know how to pray, let me tell it to you in a simple way. I'm talking to you right now. Approach the divine. Approach him as though he is the true light, creator of all things. He's more beautiful than the prettiest rose and more fragrant. He's the best parent that anyone could ever have. And I know that many of us have had rotten parents. I can't say that I had a rotten parent because my mother she's a beautiful woman. I spent time with her today. I spend time with her most every day. I take a couple of days off in the week. But my mom is elderly and she's getting up there, and her memory is not the best, and she needs care on a regular basis. And I have taken the time to provide a lot of that care. And I have beautiful children, but one child in particular is Mama and Poppy's child. And she is the one that says, so long as you guys are in this area, I'm going to be in this area, whereas my other children are a little distance from us. Okay. But she has taken it upon herself to provide care for her grandmother, and she does the best job with it. I am so grateful that she is partnering with me in this. It is a labor of love. It is hard work. It is tiring. But I'm grateful that my mother is still here with me for us to care for. Okay? So I don't know where I was going with that. So my time is not, what it used to be. I kind of split between my business, trying to, keep the shop going, and split between trying to take care of my mom. And also, I've been kind of neglecting my family here at This Is Me, Mary C, and Easy Stuff Hits the Fan Prep. I've been neglecting you guys. Don't think that I don't pray for you, because I do. I pray every day for each and every one of you guys. I do. And when I hear about the shortages, and when I see things that we may need going on sale, I'm thinking of you. I saw butter the other day. Butter went 4 sticks of butter went to about $8. Maybe it had been a little over $8 at one time, where it kind of got kind of high. That's high, especially when I can tell you that I'm still eating butter that I paid 75 cents for 4 sticks. Okay. I'm still eating that butter. All right. Because I stocked up on it. But to see it at, $8 and a little over $8 for 4 sticks, and to see it go down to $3.90 something the other day. And I was like, okay, it's not the cheapest, but it's a lot better than $8, right? So I'm thinking of you guys when I'm seeing this, and I'm saying, I'm hoping that, if it's like that in their area, I hope they're picking it up. I hope they're still prepping. Okay. So I'm thinking of you guys and praying for you guys all of the time. Continue to send your prayers my way as well. Okay. Let me see what you say. Yeah. Yeah. Janice, it's good to see you. How are you doing? It is good to see you here, Janice. You say, unfortunately, it comes from both sides. I know you have been ill for a little bit. So I'm praying that you are doing so much better. You must be, because you're here. So I'm grateful that you're here right now. Also, Strawberry Field says, beautiful. I feel like the older I get, the more I need my mom. She's mom. I love her. But I think what I was saying is, there are some folks that have experienced parents that were not too good at parenting. I'm not going to say I was the best either, though. I just have to say that. However, I know that there are some that have really harmed their children. Okay. And so, that being said, kids don't come with a manual, right? So you do the best that you can with the kids, but know that there is a creator who is divine, who is the best parent. And we can take, him as an example and say, okay, what does he do? He loves us. He loves us. And what does he say to us? Love each other. If you have a child that gets a little too close to the fire, that's young, and you don't want them to get burned, you say, no, honey, get back. Stay away from that. It's not safe. You go in a direction that is not good for you, that's what he does. He says, no, honey, get back. That's not safe for you. We have choices. We can either decide to listen to that parent, or we can do our own thing. And a lot of times we do our own thing, get into trouble, and then we want to look at him and say it's his fault. Anyhow, what universe are we living in? Family, you need to get ready. You need to get ready in all things that you do. Do it in love. Watch the news, the headlines, and see how they're manipulating the world. It is just as I said. In Japanese, maga, it means wickedness, evil, calamity, and disaster. Nigeria, slang for sucker, fraud victim, or an easily fooled idiot. Do not be this. See the wickedness, see the evil, see all the calamity and the disasters that's going on around us. See it for what it is. Okay? In Zulu, it means lies. MAGA. What are we being fed? A bunch of lies. Who is the father of lies? None of us should be surprised at what MAGA means in these other nations. And in Latin, MAGA translates to witch. There's a whole lot of witchcraft going on. We got folks that are okay. I listened to a lady in Nebraska who is the wife of a farmer. And she is explaining that she and other farmers in that state are, they call it a red state. And they're explaining that they're going bankrupt. They're going to have to shut down. They're going bankrupt. And she's saying that they caused their own demise. She's admitting it. We voted for the deportation of immigrants, and our farm operated because of the immigrants. And when this current administration came into office and began to, to purge things, if you will, deport folks, their workers ghosted them. Their workers left. Go figure. And so she was saying something like this. So I told my husband, in essence, we did this to ourselves. And I'm like, you think? It's witchcraft that they didn't see it until now they're suffering. It's witchcraft. Okay, so I'm when I see in Latin it translates to witch, maga. They put a spell on these people. Okay, and truly no surprise when I see that MAGA is the name of the highest rank in the Church of Satan. Yin, yang, good, evil. There's a spiritual battle that's taking place right now. You may not see it, but you will start seeing things from the spirit realm enter into this realm. It's already going on. It is already going on. You're going to see forms of things that you're going to say, "What the heck was that?" You're going to see new creatures. I don't want to say creations, but new creatures is what I'm saying. You're going to see new creatures. They're going to discover. No, they're not. It's the enemy. They're going to discover some beings. They're not aliens. They're demons. Okay? You're going to start hearing things that you never heard before. Hearing, seeing, they're here. They have been released, if you will. These demonic forces have been released. Now's not the time to be playing with the occult. Now's not the time to be playing with anything that you really spiritually don't know and have any control over in your life. To be opening yourself up to any type of doors that could bring any kind of spiritual type of wickedness your way. You do not want to be playing any of that stuff right now. No, you do not. You do not. Tune in. And when I say tune in to love. When you tune into love and you follow that frequency, all the other things that are out there, you will be able to see, you will be able to hear, and you will know what you need to do in order to avoid it, rebuke it, or destroy it. Tune into your spirit. And when you tune into your spirit, tune into the Creator. You did not create yourself. I'm not talking religion. I'm not a religious person. I'm a spirit being. And I have a creator above who is within me, who has blessed me with spirit. You too. He's blessed us with the ability to make choices. I just pray that you choose well. Choose well. Go over to TikTok if you haven't already. Again, look up Red Velvet um, and just kind of follow along with some of the folks that are over there that are sharing love. It's a beautiful thing. It's growing. It is growing. And it's supposed to happen. And it's supposed to happen right now. It's growing. These things are going to happen. We're going somewhere with this. And I just pray you guys decide that you want to get on the ark and go with us. So if this has been a message that resonated with you, if this has been a message that you think you may have learned something, if this has been a message that you feel may be an eye opener for maybe yourself, has been an eye opener for you, or could be an eye opener for someone else, please feel free to share. please feel free to share. I pray that it did edify you. Again, it's in love that I come before you. It's in love. And we'll see when I have time and when the Heavenly Father, our Creator, divine, if He has if He has me come back out before you to give a message, I will do just that. Until then, stay safe, stay prayed up. I love you. But know this, our Heavenly Father, He loves you so much more. Shalom, family. Yeah, I like this. Before we go, Eve New Beginning says, let's continue to pray for people. I have family members, friends that are die and ride, MAGA fans, and nothing will change their minds except Abba. Can I say this before I leave too? So this is for those who are looking at me side eye because I'm talking about MAGA in the way that I'm talking about the MAGA. But let me say this. The politicians, whether they are Republican or Democrats, look at both sides equally and look at the fruit that they bear. I said MAGA, I'm talking about MAGA because that's the season that we're in right now. I didn't do that or didn't say that because I'm trying to say that one side is better than the other side. That's not what that was about. We're in a MAGA season right now. And I think that the descriptions that I was giving you in the meaning from the Japanese, Nigeria, Zulu, I believe it is appropriate. Okay? I believe that it is appropriate. So hopefully you won't walk away from this thinking that I am a Democrat, because I'm not. I'm not. I am a true believer in love. That's what I am. And I believe that love is the answer to it all. If you can remove your anger, your bitterness, your racism, your prejudice, all of that nastiness, and replace it with love, you will heal. You will get better. And you will see the light. Not only will you see the light, you will be able to enter into the light. What universe are we living in? I could tell you so much to show you that there is another plane, another existence, if you will. This is not it. This is not the end of it. There's so much. We have a gift. We have gifts. We don't nearly use the gifts that we have. There are things that you could see, you could hear outside of what's in this world that I was telling you about that is going to be different for many people to see. But divine has things that you can see. Divine, our creator, has gifted us with spiritual ears and spiritual eyes, with spiritual abilities. It's all good. But you got to let go of this world in order to achieve it, to get to that level. You got to let go of this world. You got to let go of the things that keep you grounded in this space, in this place, in this time. It's bigger than that, and it's deeper than that. But some of y'all ain't ready for that. If you only knew. All right, family. On that note, like I said, I'm gonna repeat myself at this point. I truly do love you. Some of you got what I just said. Some of you understood what I just said. Okay. But I truly love you. I truly do love you. But know this, our Heavenly Father, He loves you so much more. Open your heart. Love on your neighbors, like He said for us to do. But love Him too. Shalom.